je vous aimerai. Ma foi, je ne sais pas. Peut-être.
Well, Gemini, you've been through a lot. You've got goals that aren't being fulfilled. And I have to say that I don't think they are in June either. It's going to be trying for you. But the reason why this is all happening is you're strong enough to deal with it. There are very important lessons in what is happening for you. And the universe, God, Allah, whoever you might think it is, knows that you can deal with it because you have this wonderful inner strength. And it's that strength that runs throughout this entire spread. In the past, I think you were making some gains, piecemeal gains maybe, but you were making some gains in the past. It's possible that made others jealous, but I don't think that's what I want to dwell on. It's just that things don't seem to be moving even now. If anything, maybe it feels like you're going backwards. Normally, I'd say that the current energy is one of teamwork, but this rendering doesn't show teamwork. It shows you creating something that will take multiple inputs. But again, it's rather slow. In the future, you're going to walk away. I don't know if you're walking away from your dream, but you're getting fed up and you are walking away. And the reason you're getting fed up is things are moving so slowly that it feels like a standstill. As I say, it may feel like it's going backwards. What would change everything is love. And I think I should interpret this as a new love coming into your life. A love coming into your life that probably makes you forget about these goals and dreams. Probably doesn't happen, but if it were to, you probably don't follow it, but if you were to, then everything would definitely change. And that's there very strongly. No, what the most likely thing to happen is that everything comes falling down. Everything gets destroyed. And I'm not going to focus on this negativity too much, but it's suggesting that your dreams, your goals are built on a false foundation. And it was necessary to knock them down. So I think we've got to get into it, haven't we, Gemini? Now, I'm sure Gemini is shouting out, why is it happening to me? And we do find out absolutely at the end of this. But right now, let us say it's happening to you because of the universe, Allah God, wants you to know that you're strong enough to deal with it. And you do have this wonderful inner strength and you can deal with it, but it is a trial. Now, I've been through a major trial myself, a major trial. I don't think I'll get into it here, but these trials are sent to testers. Well, they wouldn't be called trials, would they? But they're sent to test us, and I believe that you do get through it. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for you. Now, I know, Gemini, you've got this goal, or goals as it were, and you've not been doing particularly well in terms of achieving them. Truth is, in the past, you were sort of slowly getting towards them. It wasn't easy, it was a struggle, but you were making some progress in the past. You might have made some people jealous with your progress. I don't know why. Do you know, I get the impression that an awful lot of people are very jealous because of I live in Indonesia. I moved away from the UK, and everybody seems at the moment to be wanting to move away from where they're from. And, you know, I can't understand this jealousy, you know. If people are jealous of what you know, of wanting to move away, why don't they do it? You know, it's as simple as that. What's the point of being jealous of other people who've done what you want to do? Surely you should just do it. And I get the impression there's a bit of that surrounding you. Now, turning to your current energy, you'll note I'm using the Light Visions Tarot at the moment. I don't know why. I just felt that I'd like a change. I haven't used it that much apart from clarification. And that's because, although it is based on the rider weight, it's a little bit more difficult to comprehend than others. As I've sort of gained in confidence, I really look at the renderings more so than, you know, the standard descriptions. And there's a couple of cards where the rendering is completely different. In fact, there's a couple of cards that seem to be reversed. You know, what the rendering means the what another card is. This one, I think the rendering does change it quite considerably, because I'd normally say this is about teamwork, and it could be to do with teamwork. But what I think it's to do with is you trying to develop something, you trying to do something, and it comes in many components. So before we said you were making progress, but this is multifaceted, comes in many components, and it will take a long time to achieve. And as we're about to see, I don't think you're getting very far. It almost feels like you've come to a standstill. It'll be wonderful if you pull it off, but I think this reading is saying maybe you won't. Now, why I'm sort of sounding somewhat pessimistic about your goal, and of course, you know, we need following months to really nail it. But in the future, so we're talking of after June, you do walk away from something, and I think you're walking away from your goal. I think you're saying, oh, it's just too difficult, I've had enough. Now, we don't know whether or not you'll come back to it, but certainly at this juncture, which is the future, you know, it's after June, you're going to say, oh, I couldn't be bothered, I've had it, it's proving too difficult. Now, given that this was all a test of strength, I suspect that could be the wrong thing. No, I don't. I was going to say it could be the wrong thing to be doing. I think what you're being called to do is have a rethink, whereas this is just throwing a towel in and saying I couldn't be bothered, you know. So it's sort of the wrong thing. I don't think it's completely the wrong thing, if you can understand where I'm coming from on that one. And as I say, your progress towards your goal is moving desperately slowly. So slowly, I mean, look at this rendering. It feels like it's a complete standstill. What this energy does say is you're still determined at this stage. You know, later on you walk away. But at this stage, you're still determined. At this stage, you want to see it through. You will keep, however slowly, trying to move things along. But as we're about to see, it's going to come even that slow progress is going to come crashing down. But there is a determination on your behalf, certainly.
Que je préfère, il n'a rien dit, mais il m'aime.
Now, what would change everything? And I think it means change everything in terms of you just forget about these goals, even though they're a burning desire that you're determined about. But I think you'd completely forget about them if you were to find love. And this feels like a new love. It really does. So if you were to find a new love, then everything would seem completely different to you. Put a completely new perspective on it. Is this what happens? It's probably unlikely because you're so determined. But it is an alternative trajectory that's there, and now you're aware of it. Maybe you should give it some serious thought because it looks a more attractive alternative than the trajectory that you're on. What I think is going to happen is you're going to keep plodding on towards your goal, however slow your progress is, and then suddenly it's going to disappear. It's going to become impossible. The rug is going to be pulled from under your feet. And that's why later you've just had enough, you walk away. Is it impossible to resurrect? I don't think it is. But it's impossible to resurrect as it was, as you were thinking of it. Because this is something that's been sent by God, by Allah, by the universe, by your ancestors, whoever you might think it is that sends these things. And it's been sent so that you have this rethink. Because some part of your plans was flawed. So it's giving you the opportunity to change your plans, to change your goals and reflect on it. So I'm sorry, we have to wait to subsequent months to see what the outcome of all of this is. Because if I'm not sure that this is final at all.
Si je t'aimais, prends garde de toi. Si tu
Gemini, I think June spread brings with it what will be bad news for you. It's bad news, but I believe it's essential news. It's something you've got to hear. Why is this happening to you? It's happening to you because you're strong enough to deal with it. And there's a major lesson for you to learn here. A major lesson. You've been working towards a goal, quite a radical change in your life. And it's moving incredibly slowly. You have had some success in the past, but it's just possible that that's made others jealous of you. But now it really is grinding to a halt. You're determined to see it through. You're absolutely determined to see it through. But it's so slow, it almost feels like it's going backwards. And to a certain degree, you're doing this, you're doing that. You've almost lost the plot of why you're doing it. You've just got this goal that you keep on towards, but exactly what is the reason has been lost in the mists of time, despite your determination. And a part of the problem is that there is something that is wrong in your plans or your thinking. There's something that the universe, God, Allah, your ancestors, whoever you believe it might be, wants to point out to you it's not the right way of doing it. There's something flawed in your plans. And that's why it's brought to an abrupt halt in June. Now, as a result of that, after June, you sort of throw the towel in and start looking for something else. Or you just throw the towel in. You've had enough. Now, I don't know if that's absolutely terminal or you revisit it. Of course, that we'll find out in subsequent months. But certainly for June, well, after June, you do walk away, you've thrown the towel in. What would change everything, and I don't think you pursue this, but it is an alternative, is love. And I think it's new love. If you were to fall in love, it would probably completely change your plans. And so therefore, I think this is what the universe is saying about your priorities. You see your goal as being this because it'll achieve that, when really harmonious relationships, maybe a new love, would suit you a lot better.
Lord, rain water,